What if one of Elon Musk's most overlooked remarks, a comment barely noticed years ago, suddenly became the biggest housing disruption of 2026? He once mentioned a mysterious Tesla box home sitting quietly in South Texas, a prototype hardly anyone paid attention to. Some thought it was just a portable office, others thought it was a publicity stunt. Most people brushed it off as a joke or maybe one of Elon's wild thought experiments. But what if it wasn't just talk? Fast forward to today, and that very idea has turned into something shocking, something real, something that could rewrite the rules of modern living. The 2026 TeslaTiny house is here. A home you can assemble in just half a day. A home that powers itself with solar energy. A home with its own clean water loop. And above all, a home with a jaw-dropping price tag of only $7,975. Think about that for a second. For the cost of a used laptop or a couple months of rent in New York or Los Angeles, you could own an entire house. No landlord, no endless rent hikes, no being trapped in the cycle of paying for something you'll never own. This isn't just a product, it's a challenge. A direct threat to the very structure of housing and rent as we know it. Elon Musk hasn't talked publicly about many of these details, but what's unfolding now could change the way millions of people live. And today, we're going to break it all down. We'll uncover the shocking features of the TeslaTiny house that most people haven't heard about. We'll explain how its plug-and-live technology allows you to move and set up your house in a single day. We'll reveal how the AnchorPass system can lock in your housing costs for years while rents skyrocket. And we'll explore how Tesla engineered this tiny home to survive weather, cut utility bills, and make the promise of end of rent real. So buckle up, because this isn't just another gadget or car reveal. This could be the beginning of the biggest housing revolution in decades. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. We're racing toward 300,000 subscribers. And I promise you, this is the kind of future you don't want to miss. Part 1. The dream of movable housing. Here's the question that keeps people awake when they think about tiny houses. What happens when it's time to move? Mobile homes have existed for decades. RVs, camper vans, and prefabricated housing all promise mobility. But the reality? Fragile builds, difficult transport, expensive resets. Tesla wanted to destroy those limitations. That's why the TeslaTiny house is built on what they call the move-in-a-day concept. At its heart is a reinforced steel base frame, not flimsy wood, not aluminum that bends under stress. This is structural steel with X-bracing, just like you'd expect in a Tesla vehicle's safety cage. Galvanized to prevent rust, welded and bolted to handle lifting and long-distance transport. Translation: you can move this house over and over again without your doors going crooked, your plumbing disconnecting, or your cabinets rattling loose. But Tesla added something magical: an auto-leveling hydraulic jack system. If you've ever parked an RV, you know the pain of leveling. Hours of frustration, tools, shims, and guesswork. But with Tesla, it's automated. Push a button. 6 hydraulic jacks extend. They measure the load. They self-adjust. And in minutes, your home is perfectly level, down to the millimeter. No warped frames, no uphill drains, no tilted furniture. Tesla calls it plug-and-live. On the exterior, you'll find weather-sealed inlets, 240-volt power port with 30 or 50 amp options, a freshwater connection with built-in filtration, quick connect outlets for gray and black water, Ethernet ports, or better yet, an optional Starlink satellite receiver. 2 adults can do the entire relocation, one handling leveling and anchoring, the other snapping in utilities. In a few hours, you're fully moved in. And here's the big difference. RVs are lightweight and mobile, but poorly insulated. Mobile homes are durable, but require permits, weeks of setup, and usually can't be moved more than once or twice. The Tesla tiny house sits right in the middle, light enough to move with a capable pickup truck, strong enough to last decades, insulated enough to feel like a permanent home. This makes the dream of a one-day move realistic. Imagine waking up in the mountains, packing up by noon, and eating dinner in the desert with your entire home. Hook point. And here's the crazy part. We haven't even touched the financial disruption yet. What Tesla is planning could make rent completely obsolete. Part 2. The end of rent. How Tesla makes it cheaper than apartments. For most people, rent isn't just an expense, it's a chain. In cities like Los Angeles, New York, or San Francisco, rents can hit $2,500 a month for a small one-bedroom. Over 10 years, that's $300,000 paid out, and you own nothing. Tesla knows this. And instead of selling you just a house, they created a financial ecosystem, the AnchorPass system. When you buy a Tesla tiny house, you also gain access to AnchorPass. Through the Tesla Home app, you can pick a zone, view available lots, book a space, relocate, all from your phone. AnchorPass brings 5 disruptive benefits. Price lock. Your monthly base fee is locked for 5 or 10 years. Increases are capped at 2% annually, or the CPI, whichever is lower. That means if you start at $750 a month, in 5 years it's $828. Compare that to today's rent, it could easily hit $2,000 in the same period. Relocation concierge. Moving isn't a nightmare. Tesla's team disconnects, transports, and resets your home in 72 hours. Legal pre-check. Every lot is pre-approved for zoning, utilities, and permits. No nasty surprises. Disaster priority. If wildfires, floods, or storms threaten, Tesla AnchorPass gives you early warnings and priority safe zones. Your house moves out of harm's way. Maintenance pod. Common repairs, done through shared Tesla service hubs. A water filter swap costs pennies, not hundreds. This flips the script. Instead of throwing money into rent, you're paying into ownership plus stability plus flexibility. Hook point. But here's the wild twist. What happens when you combine that stability with Tesla's energy tech? You don't just beat rent, you erase your utility bills too. Part 3. The Tesla Exo Shell. Built to survive anything. One criticism of mobile housing: it breaks down. RVs delaminate. Prefabs warp. Mobile homes rot in storms. Tesla set out to destroy that fear. The Exo Shell life-proof exterior uses corrugated steel panels. They shrug off bending, coated with eco-primers and powder layers that survive 1,000 hours of salt spray testing. Translation: rust, corrosion, and weathering can't touch it. Joints are triple sealed. Adhesives, rivets, and EPDM rubber that works from 40 to 250 degrees. Corners absorb impacts. The roof channels water away with precision drains. Underneath, polyurethane protective coatings with replaceable skid plates. Even if you scrape a dirt road, it's a cheap fix. And the roof? Not just protection, power. Tesla fitted it with tempered glass solar panels. Strong enough to take hail, hurricane winds, and snow load. They pump out up to 14 kilowatt hours per day. That's enough to run appliances, HVAC, and Starlink. Paired with insulation and a Tesla heat pump, this house isn't just surviving, it's thriving. Hook point, but Tesla didn't stop there. They tackled one of the biggest costs of all, water. And this is where things get futuristic. Part 4. The Water Smart Loop Water. It's expensive, wasteful, and one of the most overlooked bills. Tesla redesigned it from scratch. The Water Smart Loop has 3 layers. Clean water enters through sediment, carbon, and UV filters. Gray water from sinks and showers is sanitized and reused for toilets or irrigation. Black water drains through quick connects, just like a normal home. In humid climates, an optional atmospheric water generator pulls 10 to 20 liters per day, straight from the air. Perfect for gardening or flushing. Filter replacements, about 100 a year, and the app notifies you automatically. Pair this with the solar roof, and suddenly, electricity and water bills vanish. Hook point. And if you think this sounds like science fiction, wait until you hear about the price. Because Tesla isn't selling this for $100,000. The number is shocking. Part 5. The price that breaks rent. The Tesla tiny house starts at $7,975. Yes, you heard right. Less than a used laptop. Less than 2 months of rent in Los Angeles. For under $8,000, you don't just get walls and a roof. You get mobility solar power, water systems, AnchorPass stability. It's not just cheaper, it's disruptive. For the first time, millions of renters could break free. College graduates, retirees, young families, digital nomads. Hook point. But here's the bigger story. This isn't just about one house. This is about Tesla building entire communities. And the end game might shock you. Part 6. The Vision. Tesla cities imagine hundreds of Tesla tiny houses clustered together. Each one powered by solar, linked to a microgrid, tied into Starlink, no landlords, no fragile utility systems. Just Tesla towns. The end game isn't a tiny house. It's an entire ecosystem, where Tesla isn't just your car company. They're your energy provider, your internet provider, your housing provider. That's the vision Elon Musk hinted at years ago. Few listened. But now, it's unfolding. Finally, the revolution begins, so here we are. The 2026 Tesla tiny house isn't just a product, it's a blueprint, a home that sets up in a day, a system that locks your housing costs, an exoshell that shrugs off storms, a loop that cuts your bills to near zero, and a price so low it makes rent look absurd. Elon Musk may not have shouted about this on stage, but the message is clear. Tesla is coming for the housing market. The only question is, are you ready? Which feature impressed you most? The move-in-a-day setup, the AnchorPass rent lock, or the water smart loop? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe, because the future of housing has already arrived.